This video is not intended for persons under the age of 13. Thank you for clicking on this video. I hope you enjoy. And if you do, then don't forget to like and subscribe. Ring that notification bell so you stay up to date on further content. Bonjour and welcome to Shadowstar. I'm Captain Ri'shad and this is Star Trek Online News with Shadowstar. Okay, saying Shadowstar twice seems a little bit silly. Greetings and welcome to the very first of these videos. I hope the first of many. These videos will be covering the recent news on Star Trek Online, as well should probably be quite evident. With that being said, there is a few things to look at in discussion. Some of this news has been out and open to the STO player base for about a week now. One bit of news is relatively extremely new. We've had some great news that's come to us, things to really be excited about, and well, with things that are going on in the Star Trek fandom at the moment, specifically Star Trek Picard, you can imagine a lot is in the works of Star Trek Online. Of course, you can tell where the lockbox has come from. You can tell why there is this great bundle. Well, should be a great bundle that has been released. The 10th anniversary. And then there is the 10th anniversary ship. We're starting off with that today, guys. The 10th anniversary ship and all of its beautiful information available to us. So, let's take a look, shall we? So, to start off with subject 1, on Monday the 20th of January 2020, we got introduced to the Khitomer Alliance Battlecruiser. This magnificent ship really does hail well to what it's supposed to represent. At the beginning of Star Trek Online, we had the Klingon Federation War. Chancellor Jean-Paul had decided the Klingons were getting weak and we needed a war with the Federation. Well, they needed the war with the Federation. Well, 10 years down the line, a decade later, it seems the alliance that you could say was born out of the Romulan Republic. Bearing in mind it's the Romulan Republic that worked with both Federation and KDF, have brought about the first Federation KDF Starship space frame. It's an interesting ship and I'm not going to go into too much detail with it, but just straight up looking at it, you already see Vulture class at the back, or Klingon D7, probably a bit of both really. And sitting at the front is the stylistic design choice of the Federation, the Saucer. This ship has very specific design cues, looking like it's got the typical weapons of the KDF, but the forward thinking of the Federation shows multiple points of omnidirectional arrays. It seems like the ship's been designed with multi-level of deflectors. It's got a beautiful insignia on it that combines the Delta and the Klingon insignia. You've got what looks like two types of bridge and mission pod design on the ship. Not sure what to think of the fins, but maybe that's the Klingons going a little bit flary. You know how they like their fins and flare. And it's safe to say this ship has a beautiful profile. Yes, forward looking on this ship, the forward facing view, the ship seems a bit bulbous at the front. But for all other matters, this ship is stylistically a magnificent ship. We're looking at some really great stats for this ship as well. It's got a very high hull modifier, a brilliant shield modifier. Its battlecruiser layout gives it a 5-3. 3 device slots, typical of science ships. You're looking at what you'd expect. Commander Engineering. There is a Lieutenant Commander Tactical, Lieutenant Commander Science, Command Position, should mention that one. And 2 universal positions of Lieutenant and Ensign. The ship comes with 4 tactical, 4 engineering and 3 science positions, making the ship well rounded and versatile for most players. A good cruiser based turn rate of 7.5, impulse modifier of 0.16, inertia 40. The weapons and shields are its power supplements, giving them both plus 10. And this ship comes equipped with the cloaking device. Presumably Federation partial, with this ship being partially Federation, it is actually allowed to have a cloaking device because Romulan Republic are saying yeah, that's fine, and well, the Klingons don't ever want to drop their cloaks, do they? So, well, unless they're pouncing on their prey. Prey? They're not hydrogen. This aside, the ship is definitely looking like it's going to be a beast in battle, but there is more to be said than this. This ship comes with brilliant layout, with its actual console being something that's going to possibly bring back anti-proton damage. Recently with Star Trek Online, it has been a very much disruptor phaser sort of game base, with the easiest disruptor and phaser being the easiest to really boost up in damage to the heights if you want to directly boost your direct energy damage. And anti-proton really has been sitting there in 3rd place with its critical potential. Well, looks like we're getting finally another console that is going to boost anti-proton damage, hopefully, and it also boosts energy weapon haste and shield regeneration with shield capacity. This console is magnificent. Essentially, you're getting a partially DPS console that also is very heavy in the defense role / tank. We're looking forward to this one, I would say, because this means it's really going to help tanks come into their own. All tanks, as you will know, need to be partially DPS in nature. They have to generate threat. This is going to make it so much easier. We also then have a very useful trait. Once achieving level 5, you get the automated shield alignments trait. Now, this is not to be confused with what you essentially get from using Tactical Team. Tactical Team has an automated shield alignment which redistributes the shields to strengthen the weaker shield. This one is slightly different. While comparing ship power levels and sensor data, apparently they've found a way to, well, siphon power off. The more power in the weapons, that has a correlation to decreasing shield strain, it has been deemed the optimal subsystem to shunt the newly discovered excess to. In essence, after your shield systems have cooled down more from the decreased overall power flow, the power can be shunted back to give a significant boost to shield strength. In essence, what we're looking at here is a trait that is going to take incoming damage and help you gain bonus damage based on what percentage of your shield is missing. In essence, the more the tank is being hit, the stronger the tank is. So with that being said, the good news is there that we have definitely got a offensive / defensive ship coming to us. It's going to be relatively good at support as a result. We know it's going to be good at combat. It's got all the right stats to deliver high amounts of damage output, but more than that, this is a tank, and it is a magnificent tank with the right trait for the job and the right console for the job. Hallelujah, the first bit of news is a severe positive, 10 out of 10 from me. Second bit of news, well, it's a lockbox, so come on guys, you know how lockboxes go. We are the Borg. Lower your shields and surrender your ship. Your biological and technological distinctness will be added to our own. Your culture will adapt to service us. Resistance is futile. I hope I said that right. I think I said that right. Hello, Borg Lockbox. Proceeding forwards. Spoiler warning. So, I know from a lot of my streams, videos, and just generally community consensus that I've seen on pages that I'm on, that there has been a lot of requesting to receive Borg starships. The big question was, do you think Arc Cryptic Star Trek Online will ever give us Borg starships? And the general consensus has been, not until they have a reason. Well, thank you for finally giving them that reason. Hallelujah. Well, looks like we're finally getting that. Bit of a pity, it's in Lockbox. Now, as far as news goes, I've not received any intelligence that they have been nice with this Lockbox and actually increased the drop rate chance. I still stand by the belief that with Star Trek Online and their accountants, someone needs to go up to the accountants of Star Trek Online and I would say stun them with a phaser, but I think a disruptor might be more effective. You see, Star Trek Online has very much got a accountant issue. And, well, that is a negative effect on this great thing that's come to Star Trek Online. It's great that we're finally getting this Lockbox. These Borg, new Borg stuff. Who doesn't like the Borg? Well, yes, it's stuck behind the gamble. You are going to be making quite a gamble, and with the drop rate being as low as it is, you could be gambling quite a lot, or you might get lucky and get it with the first key. If you do, I hate you. But, as you can see, the big main ship comes directly from Star Trek Next Generation, and the Pacific episode where Lore returns, leading it wasn't really the cooperative at this time, so let's say the independent Borg, let's call them that. They went from green to blue. It's the one thing I did notice. It's like, why? But hey, this ship is quite nice, and I have always kind of wanted to fly this ship. It's been a bit of a weird ship. It definitely gives you the Borg feel, and looking at what we've got right here, it's a stunner. I don't know how accurate it is to screen, but it looks pretty damn good. Oops. Seeing the multiple views, we've got some beautiful things coming from this ship, but it's not alone. We've got the retrofitted simulator, which enables enables your ship to fire quantum torpedo laced with Borg Nanoprobes. These are going to be hopefully a great supplement to it. Now, what these are going to do is they're going to partially assimilate another enemy vessel, possibly making it your own. I can see this being a very strong attribute for the ship. You can sort of see what's going on there. It's assimilated a bird of prey, and now this bird of prey functions to assist you in combat against, well, other birds of prey. For Klingons, they are not going to stow the core. Those ones are going to Gren 4. It's also said that we're going to get this new cutting tractor beam console. Now, this is definitely Star Trek Next Generation, and I do believe that the reason we got this lockbox is because of Star Trek Picard. mostly because Borg was a major adversary within Star Trek Next Generation and for Captain Picard. There is most likely elements of the Borg that are going to turn up in Star Trek Picard, I hazard to guess. And, well, if you all remember, the first time the Borg and the Enterprise de-encountered each other, they got locked on to with a lovely green tractor beam and a nice circle sliced out of the Enterprise's saucer. Suffice to say, inspiration behind this console. Haven't you always wanted to be able to do that? Next poignant part of the lockbox is these new space and ground weapons that we're receiving. So, the assimilated plasma weapon pack, which is going to unfortunately remove the plasma burn over time from the plasma weaponry. This is a disappointment to me, but it will increase your hull and health regeneration, making these plasma weapons great for tank players. Specifically, Romulan tanks, since, well, Romulans get more of a benefit from using plasma weaponry. They also deal an increased level of damage, which is going to be good because, well, plasma weapons have always been on a sort of level playing field, so some plasma weapons with a heavier damage output will be nice to see. And alongside these weapons opening the packs, you may get a hold of yourself the Borg Vanity Shield. For those wondering, that's what it's going to look like. So the plasma weapons are a blue tealish colour with a green hue surrounding it. And the Borg Vanity Shield is going to be a very much a grey bronzest hull, which I'm going to assume has a minor bit of what I like to call cyber plating with a blue glow to it rather than the original Borg green. Bearing in mind that this seems to be coming along with the cooperative style ship. We're also getting some rather interesting kit modules. These universal modules will be assimilate, deals physical damage over time to target, foe and foes near it, assimilating them under your control once they fall. Essentially, defeat the enemy and you've now got extra crew members fighting by your side. Maximum of 4. However, they only work on humanoid creatures, so don't try using these against animals. / Borg Undine or photonic beings. We get the orbital cutting tractor beam. If you thought using it on a ship was going to be mean. This will give this ship the ability, your ship, the ability to fire an orbital bombardment in the form of the cutting beam. Well, any foe struck by this will also drop a combat buff once picked up. Essentially, this will be a more advanced version of the engineering captain's orbital beam. Well, orbital attack beam? I forgot what it's called now. But will it be superior to it? Certainly with engineers, it'll be a useful one. Personally, I used to use the Voudoir orbital bombardment on my tactical officer, so I felt like this would be quite a good new update to an option like that. You have collective will. This one will gather power from your allies to unleash on the target, dealing heavy electrical damage and disable. An interesting interesting kit, to say the least. And then you have resistance is futile. Resistance is futile disperses nanoprobes to the ground under the target, then where they will rapidly repurpose the material there into nanotubulars. These will burst out at the foe in the target area, halting their movement and infecting them. Well, suffice to say, I hold and debuff. Useful. Probably going to be my favourite one, that one. We also then have Adapt. creates a tiny defensive screen around each nearby ally to gather data about the incoming damage. When any ally is damaged, all affected allies immediately gain immunity to whatever kind of damage was dealt. Only applies to the first instance of damage. Without connection to the collective, this immunity is only temporary. Even foes cannot it's only temporary, even if foes cannot remodulate their weapons. Okay. Sorry about the little bit of stuttering there. So essentially, you gain the Borg ability to adapt. Ground PvP, I see that being really useful. As for normal PvE, again, quite useful. Your average foe will only strike you with a specific energy weapon type and will barely counter out of that. Really useful if you're fighting people using plasma weaponry. You'll also be getting, of course, the Borg kit frames. These are your average kit frames. It'll be interesting to see what kind of power buffs they give you. We're also getting some new bridge officers with brilliant bridge officer active abilities. One of them being free association. I stutter. Using a relevant bridge officer ability can recover cooldown for specializations. Interesting to see. And using relevant specialization bridge officer abilities has a better chance of recovering the cooldown of relevant bridge officer abilities. So one will assert on the other. It's handy to see. We have strength through unity. Using the relevant class bridge officer ability has a chance to grant a stat based on associated specialization. Command is a team-wide temporary hull. Miracle Worker, all power levels are set to max. They decay naturally after. I see that one being really useful. Miracle Workers taking all power levels to maximum. Oh yes. Pilots will grant you accuracy. Probably the lesser one there. Temporal is a DOT damage. Okay. And intelligence will grant you a crit severity. I see most people being more for the Miracle Worker and the intelligence. The temporal will probably be the second up then, and the command will definitely be a tanks person one. We also have using relevant specialization bridge officer ability will using a relevant specialization bridge officer ability will grant us a chance of a stat based on associated class, being engineer for armor pen, tactical for critical chance, and science for exotic damage. Christ on the monkeys, so I want all of them. Come on, I'm a support DPS player. Exotic damage and armor penetration, really important to me. Critical chance is the only one there that's not super major for me. It's a good one, but this last one, oh yeah. So, cooperative computing, using relevant class bridge officer abilities, blah blah blah, has a chance to trigger blah blah blah, based on the class again. So engineer is going to give you an Ox2 structural integrity. Your tactical is going to give you attack pattern delta, and science is going to give you feedback pulse. The great thing about this is it's perfect for the player class that you are. If you're a DPS, you're using tactical abilities and you're getting the perfect attack pattern, saving you from actually having to have attack pattern delta equipped as one of your actual bridge officer abilities. Engineer, Ox to structural integrity is very important for, well, tanks. And tanks are going to be making better use of engineering abilities. Finally, science players, well, let's just be fair. DPS, yes, DPS is going to enjoy this too, especially if you are the type to use drain or control. But feedback pulse is essentially the God's grace of science and support, where you are able to take the incoming damage and throw it back at your enemy, like the mirror shield of Zelda. This is something I'm very happy to see, because I like feedback pulse, but because of the fact that I control specialize, I tend not to be able to get feedback pulse in use unless I'm using the Aegis set, which isn't too good for my build style. Finally, an easy to use feedback pulse that's available to all players. Hey, I'm going to be looking forward to this one. I've got a funny feeling these certain bridge officers might be expensive in the exchange, just a heads up warning on that one. There's also new captain's traits available. Now this is, well, we always get these traits for these lockboxes. This is the one that's probably had me thinking the most, trying to analyze the usefulness of them. Ground and space, we have the adaptive offense. Obviously, adapting to whether you're in space or ground, this is going to give you a, well, on successful critical strike, a third of this improvement converts into a great amount of critical severity for a moderate duration. So basically, you get improved critical chance, and on success, you now have hopefully a follow-up where you may have an even higher, more damaging critical strike to follow. People who have already got quite a high critical chance will actually find this trait to be highly useful, as it just means that, well, normally when you got a high critical chance, you have a higher critical severity, you have a lower critical severity. This just means that you're now going to be boosting up that critical severity and dealing, hopefully, chain successions of critical strikes. Definitely something for any DPS player to keep in mind. We also have adaptive defense, which, well, very obviously is the exact opposite of the adaptive offense. This is both for ground and space again, and will grant an improvement in damage resistance while in combat. The improvement is divided by the number of enemies that are targeting you. The more enemies you've got, the stronger your defense. Again, this is very much sitting that recently Star Trek Online is giving us very much tanky stuff to use, and we are going to definitely find that this is working well for tanks. Adaptive defense is definitely something I'll be recommending to any tank players, and I can certainly see this being very handy in upcoming, well, fleet actions. New to the Lobby store, guys, we have the Borg Exoskeleton frame. I don't know if I'm keen on this or not. I will say this, it looks interesting to say the least, and what you're guessing, but well, it kind of feels to me like it's something that should have already been introduced with your Borg bridge officers. I mean, it's nice that you can now have your own Borg captain and given the full exoskeleton if should you wish. Hell, if you want to create and roleplay a full-blown Borg crew with the new Borg ship, you're more than capable of doing so with this. And I definitely think that will look great, and it'll be great for roleplay, but seeing it in the Lobby store was probably my disappointment. I was really hoping if we got this ever, it would be in the Zen store for about 200 Zen. Saying that though, it will be Lobby, and thusly probably 250 Lobby. I gotta say this, I'm going to definitely look forward to trying to get a hold of that myself. At least Lobby's cheap, eh? Now, it's not Christmas anymore, it's the first thing I want to say. But, well, B8E Extractor, oh, hello. New Lobby weapon is going to be granting us some significant high damage bolts of energy, and, well, Palm Strike now allows you to assimilate the distinctiveness. In essence, you can assimilate people. Where has this been for ball captains? I mean, they've got their natural ability to somewhat assimilate temporarily or confuse the target, but never straight up take control. About time it showed up. I need that for my Borg. So that has been the Borg Lockbox, but now we move on to a subject that, okay, I'm not happy about. This is the one negative part of the video. Guys, if you have enjoyed this video, I suggest that we call it quits here, and you know, continue listening on to the next part. However, should you want the full news, get ready for some 50-50 shade of Devil meets Angel, and I want to set everything on fire. This next bit of news has caused one hell of a stir in the community. Some people are very happy about it. A lot of people are annoyed. You all know what I'm talking about. Let's take a look. So before we get into this next bit of news, I want you guys to see this on screen right now. This is a lot of maths I did a while back, working out how much ships in Star Trek Online are worth. The Zen ships, the Lobi ships. And I worked it out so that what each ship was worth in dilithium, what each ship was worth in energy credits, and what each ship was worth in real life money. Your standard Zen ship is worth just under £20. That's based on me working out how much one Zen is worth in real life money, and then doing the calculations to get exact amounts. Just wanted to show you that. So, this is the great news that everyone's been looking forward to. The 10th anniversary's big legendary starship bundle. They've recently re-updated all the hero ships. Defiant, Voyager, Galaxy. My word, they're beautiful. They all look brilliant with the new visual updates. I am in awe. I am absolutely in awe. So excited about this. And when they kept saying that you guys are going to get all the ships you've been waiting for. Hang on, and Tier 6 Oberth is coming? Okay, no, that's not actually been announced. So, maybe not. Tier 6 Oberth is just one of the ships I would love to see. But, well, with the first bit of announcement we've had the Galaxy class and the Defiant announced. This is the legendary pilot warship and legendary command explorer. These are part of a 10 ship bundle, which gives you 10 ship slots to add if should you wish for them, and or you can go for the legendary pack. Instead of standard, go for the big one and get a load of extra. But is it worth it? This is what's caused the major uprising. Let me start by pointing out this kind of thing to expect from these ships you're getting. So you're only getting the one ship of each one. So you get one variant of the Defiant, one variant of the Galaxy. There's going to be 20 ships in this. Well, 20 ship costumes apparently gets given to us, but it's going to be 10 ships, 20 ship costumes. So we can assume that we are now going to have access to the ship that we're getting and one new skin for all ships. These new ships also come with their own new stats. There's also an exclusive costume for each ship, but that's what's raising a question for me. They're saying the exclusive costume separate, and they're saying that there's an including one new So there's going to be one new costume? What are we talking about here? 20 plus ships, plus one new, plus one exclusive costume. That's very vague in how they're explaining that out, and I don't trust it. You get all of the ships, consoles and traits. So therein lies the question: when they say all of the ships, do they mean all 10 of these new ships? Or do they mean you get the Galaxy, the Venture, the Andromeda? Do they mean that when you have the Legendary Command Explorer? If we're talking that, 3,000 Zen for its standard pricing is not all that bad. When, like I said, the ships are worth 20 quid each. And at 20 quid, that would mean £200. Hope you're looking at the Zen on screen. That means you are actually paying £200 in Zen as well to get it at its normal point. And okay, that's where I'm already hitting a if. This means standard cost, you're paying normal price for a bundle and getting the only thing extra, 10 ship slots. 10 ship slots. I really hope I didn't say what I think I just said then. Now I'm leaving it in just in case I did. Fun of it. But if that's really the bonus, we're getting 10 ships, then the standard is only worth getting on the sale price, because otherwise you're not really getting anything for your money. You might as well, unless you really want, guaranteed, no, you want to get all 10 ships, you might as well get the individually, because presumably they're going to give it to us individually. And that then raises the next question. Look at the price, the next one normal. On sale it's £200. And what you're getting on sale, it's worth it. At £200, that sale one is semi-worth it. It's not great. They make it look like you're getting a lot, but you're really not. Let me explain. 10 ship slots, well, that's per account, so that is one of your captains. Because once per account means you're only using it on one captain. 10 master keys. Sounds great, doesn't it? You might as well sell those, because if you try using them to open lockboxes, the chance of you actually getting the brand prize ship is minimalistic. You manage to get the brand prize ship within 10 lockboxes, my word, you've got some damn good luck, and Lady Luck is literally sitting on top of you at that time. 10 Infinity R&D packs. Well, the Lobby will be fun, because I really doubt you'll get that tier 6 ship. Not when the last 2 times I've tried to get those ships, the Jellyfish and the Discovery Collie, both times I had to open 230 plus boxes. So I don't see 10 being much there, really. All you're getting is R&D packs and some Lobby. Oh great, yes, we're getting some extra Lobby there too, don't worry. 100 Lobby once per account. Woo! You get 10 Phoenix Prize packs, that's great. Guess what? That comes with 1 Epic Phoenix Prize token, but is that really a big thing? Well, considering Phoenix Prize ships were also ships given away for free at one point, meaning if you wanted that ship, you probably earned that ship, meaning, do you really need the Epic token? I mean, yes, there will be some people which the Epic token will be quite useful for. And it is great to see that we're getting it. But in the case of many people, including myself, that will become Phoenix upgrades. And that's literally what those Phoenix packs will be. Phoenix upgrades. Nothing more, nothing less. There's 10 enhanced universal tech upgrades. Now that is actually something good. I'll give them that. That's useful. And for dilithium farmers, well, 10,000 dilithium is great for people that don't have time to earn dilithium, and that is a lot of people. Before people who start complaining that I'm kicking on the Zen price, yeah, a lot of us don't have time to do this Zen farming. In fact, my job, the job I work means that I really don't have time to Zen farm. dilithium's farm for Zen. So 10,000 is okay for those of us like me, but anyone that knows how long it takes to farm 10,000 dilithium knows that's a very small amount. And 10,000 dilithium goes nowhere. Let's see what we can get for 10,000 dilithium, shall we? Well, see what's really red out there. Oh, look at that, Captain's Wrath. Ooh, you can get a couple of Phoenix prize packs if you want. Let's get some special batteries. Yeah, you're not getting hanger pets. Get a cruddy suit if you want. Oh, maybe you can get some good kit modules. Yeah, these look great, don't they? Really? Really, STO? My point is that's not going very far. So in other words, what looks like a lot is actually... I don't want to say very little, but it isn't that much. Not for the amount of Zen you're paying for it, especially if you end up paying the true cost. 45,000 Zen, you're really not saving any money buying this bundle in either of those two. At normal price, you save next to nothing, and it's not worth it. In essence, the idea of them being a bundle is not a bundle. You might as well buy more individually. You want all that stuff, buy individually. It might actually be cheaper. Okay, it won't be cheaper. So are the ships going to be worth it? Well, let's try taking a look. Let's see if the ships are going to make it worth it. There's the Defiant class. The big deal about the Defiant class is the paint on the nose. That's not a joke, guys. That is not even a remote joke. The big deal about the paint class's new skin is nose paint. It's a good warship, admittedly. It has 5 forward weapons, 3 aft. So basically, you're getting a far more powerful Defiant than normal. With about average, hull and shield for what you'd expect it to be. All the tactical and science is exactly where you expect it to be. Impulse modifiers, all the weapons. You get all the original consoles. And it's a pilot ship. This means you're going to get a pilot position on this ship as well. Okay, so yes, the Defiant, this is a more true to form Defiant, that's safe to say. She's going to be a lot more powerful and definitely swing much more of a bang with her. And be more maneuverable. But that's it for the Defiant. How about the Galaxy? Well, the Galaxy definitely has a lovely new skin. Looks absolutely great. And I've got to say, I'm loving the readout on what it has. Great weapon slots, great hull. It's definitely a stronger, tougher ship now, more defensive than before. We've got your command engineering placements. It's definitely going to be a very tanky ship, this one. You get your source of separation, antimatter spread, molecular cohesion nullifier. It's all good. Oh, good, yes. This one is a little bit better though. See, we'll go a bit further down with the pilot. Nose paint is what you get, and that's it. That is your new visual variant, the nose paint. And the other variants that are included was basically you'll have access to using the forms of all those ships. It's a good thing tier 6 is the only thing that matters these days, because otherwise it might be a bit sad if you're making a new captain and you'd like to use the Saint Polo, but you don't actually get the Saint Polo. Admittedly, look at the number of skins though that is with the Defiant. Bearing in mind the amount of skins they do say we get, you have 7 skins already included there. Uh-oh. And Defiant nose art is possibly one of the new ones. Okay. Not including the 20 plus skins, I'm going to assume, but we've lost 7 straight away, 1 ship. Today you see the Galaxy. Now the Galaxy is quite good. The Galaxy has Andromeda, Venture, Monarch, and of course Galaxy. That's 4. So out of 20 skins that we're getting, we've already counted 11 of them with only 2 ships. And the brand new ship is the Ross. For those that don't know, this is, I'm pretty damn sure, a concept art look at. I will say this, it's a very nice looking ship. I do think it looks pretty damn stunning. I kind of like the lines of it. I definitely like the nacelles. And I like the saucer. Oh boy. But it loses me from that point onwards. Safe to say, this 10th anniversary bundle so far is not singing well with me. It does not get any praises. And for someone that has always said, go out and get these ships, and has always been supportive of these ships are worth getting, if it falls in a certain category for you and it meets your needs, it's definitely one worth getting for you. It's kind of heartbreaking for me to say, no, this bundle is not worth it. The chances are, with how much they've blown out already, with just 2 ships, the rest are going to be somewhat underwhelming. And big thing I'm worrying about from this point is, will they be able to make it worth it with these last 8 ships? Right, we need to really big it up. One of the ships we know we're getting is the combat version of the Voyager, the Intrepid class, the Intrepid warship. But that doesn't class as one for me. That's not good enough. Let's see where things go. And with that, guys, I'm going to wrap this up. So with that, guys, I'm going to wrap this up. Suffice to say, there's been a lot of news recently. Great news when it comes to the front of the Khitomer Alliance Battlecruiser. Somewhat fun news with the lockbox. Too bad they haven't increased the chances of getting the main ships. That will always be a negative there. And here's hoping this new bundle finds some way to make itself worthwhile getting. Otherwise, I have a sneaky suspicion this one's going to fall by the wayside. Thank you for watching, guys, and until next time, remember, by watching all the way to the end of my videos, you've supported this channel amazingly, and I greatly appreciate it. Thank you. To my Patreons and my donators, a further massive thank you. Your generosity is greatly appreciated. Guys, if you're new to the channel and wish to keep up to date on everything I work on, then please check out the description below, where down there you will find our Discord channel. This channel will help you keep up to date on everything Mysterious V Shadowstar and Ri'shad Shadowstar channels are working on video wise. Lets you get into discussion with the rest of the crew, and should you wish to share your own screenshots or videos, you can share them under the video clips, and perhaps you'll get yourself into one of these videos of mine. Now with that being said, again, thank you for watching. Until next time, guys, Jolantru. Live long and prosper, my friends. I'm out.